You know, I always considered myself lucky. My father-in-law, Frank, he wasn't just some stern, distant figure. He was my friend. We grilled together, watched the game together, geeked out over new video games. So when his whole family gathered in Philadelphia for the holidays, I was looking forward to it. It was supposed to be all good cheer, but as the night went on, the eggnog and whiskey started to really flow. Since I was the designated driver, I was the island of sobriety in a room that was getting progressively wobbly. I was doing my favorite husbandly duty, gently teasing my wife, rage-baiting her about some silly in-game strategy. We were both laughing. Her sister was egging us on. It was all in good fun. Then Frank lumbered over. He had that glazed, sloppy grin of a man 6 drinks deep. He clapped a heavy hand on my shoulder, the smell of bourbon sharp in the air. Giving my daughter a hard time, eh? He slurred. Here, let me show you how we deal with that in this family. My brain, for a second, thought he was going to offer some witty comeback. Maybe a joke from his own marriage. I was completely, utterly unprepared for what happened next. There was no wind-up, no warning, just a sudden blurring motion and a dull, sickening thud. Now, any guy knows it doesn't have to be a full-force punch. It's a different kind of pain. It's a white-hot electric jolt that shoots straight up your spine, curls your toes, and empties your lungs in one silent, gasping shudder. My vision tunneled. The twinkling Christmas lights in the room smeared into starbursts. I saw my knees buckle, and I had to grab the back of an armchair to keep from just folding onto the floor. And the worst part, it wasn't the pain. It was the context. This wasn't the locker room. This was in front of my wife, her sister, everyone. The heat that rushed to my face wasn't just from the agony. It was a wave of pure, searing humiliation. The man I respected, my friend, had just reduced me to a cheap, crude punchline in front of my own family. The rest of the night was a blur of me trying to smile through gritted teeth. Frank, in a drunken, slobbering apology, actually said, "Hey, sorry, buddy. Here, you can hit me back. Right in the junk, go on." I just shook my head and said no. But inside, a cold, hard resolve was settling in my gut. No, Frank, I'm not going to punch you back. That's too easy, too fast. When I get you back, you won't see it coming, and you will deserve every second of it. The physical ache faded over the next few weeks, but the memory of that humiliation stayed with me, a quiet little ember burning in the dark. Then, a month later, Oxygen arrived. Pokémon Legends Arceus came out. The whole family got it, Frank included. We were all obsessed. And me, being a veteran shiny hunter, I blitzed through the game faster than anyone. It was while I was messing around with my pride and joy, a beautiful, jet-black Shiny Giratina. I'd spent weeks hunting in a previous game, that I stumbled upon it. A secret, a flaw in the universe, a perfectly karmic glitch. I discovered that if this specific Shiny Giratina used the move Shadow Sneak, the entire Switch console would just die. The screen would freeze into a horrific digital screech. The whole system would brick itself, requiring a full, hard reboot. A slow, wicked smile spread across my face. The ember had found its fuel. Oh, Frank, I thought, you have no idea. This isn't a punch. This is a ghost. A poltergeist I'm going to put in your pocket. The plan was beautiful in its simplicity. I didn't need to be angry. I didn't need to be confrontational. I just needed to be generous. A few weeks later, we were all at my sister-in-law's house. Casually, effortlessly, I offered up my collection of rare Pokémon. Hey, I've got a bunch of extra shinies from over the years. Anyone want one? I handed out a few common ones to the others, building my cover. But I saved the masterpiece for Frank. I knew his tastes. I knew he'd drool over the legendary menacing Shiny Giratina. Hey, Frank, I said, cool as a cucumber. I've got one I think you'll love. A Shiny Giratina. Pretty rare. His eyes went wide. No way, seriously? You'd just give that away? I looked him right in the eye, the ghost of my future victory dancing in mine. Hey, I said, what's family for? And just like that, the Trojan horse was inside the gates. I traded the beautiful corrupted code over to him. I watched his face light up with genuine, unsuspecting joy. And I felt a thrill of pure anticipation. The trap was set. Now, I waited. And I waited. Weeks turned into months. I almost forgot about my digital sleeper agent. The sting of the punch had faded, replaced by the quiet, patient satisfaction of a perfect plan in motion. Then the day finally came. We were all hanging out, and Frank looked defeated. He was grumbling, rubbing his temples. I don't get it, man, he moaned. My Switch is completely screwed. It just keeps crashing. Out of nowhere! I've uninstalled and reinstalled every game. I've done everything. It just freezes up and dies, especially when I'm playing Arceus. I'm about to throw the damn thing out the window. A jolt of electricity shot up my spine. This was it. I kept my face a perfect mask of casual concern. I took a slow sip of my drink, letting his frustration hang in the air. I let the silence stretch for a beat too long. Then I struck. My voice was calm, innocent. Oh, that's weird, Frank. A pause for effect. Is it happening whenever you use Shadow Sneak with that Giratina I gave you? The room didn't just go quiet. It went dead. You could hear a pin drop. Frank's face went completely blank. I could see the gears turning. The connections being made, the gift, the glitch, the timing, the specificity of my question. His eyes widened. His jaw went slack. And before that shock could curdle into anger, I delivered the final blow. I leaned forward, a tiny, triumphant smile on my lips. My voice dropping to a clear, calm whisper. Yeah, that's for punching me in the dick last December. For a heartbeat. There was nothing. Then he erupted. He didn't get mad. He burst into this deep, wheezing, uncontrollable laugh. He doubled over, slapping his knee, tears streaming down his face. Oh my God! He finally managed to choke out. You magnificent bastard! You waited, you knew. All that time. I wasted real time on that. He was howling now. I respect it. I respect the long con. And in that moment, it wasn't just revenge. It was understanding. It was a joke so perfectly crafted, so patient and clever, that even the victim had to tip his cap. The whole family burst out laughing. The tension of months shattered into a million pieces. The perfect capper? A few days later, articles started popping up online, officially confirming the glitch. Frank saw them and texted me. I still can't believe you weaponized a video game against me. You're a legend. Sometimes payback isn't about causing pain. It's about proving a point with so much style and precision that it becomes a legend all its own. It's about taking a moment where you felt powerless and answering it not with a roar, but with a whisper that echoes for months.